Okay, as we wrap up the portraiture this Thursday, what I want you to be thinking about is our next assignment, which is a big one. So all the assignments in photo class go up by 100 points each. So the portraiture is worth 100 points. This is going to be worth 200 points. So it's a three-parter, and it's going to take a kind of a while for you guys to work on this. So the first part is you guys are going to pick an artist, a photographer, an established artist, and you're going to create a presentation about that artist. You're going to make it on PowerPoint. You can do one of two things because we're online. You can pre-record your presentation and just play it for us during class, or you can, share your screen and play your presentation that way. It does not matter to me either way. If you get a little bit of stage fright and would prefer to just pre-record it, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so I have a list of photographers that you will go through and find based off of, they were just very rough um, themes that they go through. So if you're not sure what type of or what photographer you want to do a presentation on, just my advice is to pick something that you're interested in. If it's race relations or still lifes or portraiture, look through the list and look through the summaries of each photographer and see which one sparks your interest. And then go ahead and Google them, see what their images look like, see if it's something that you'd be interested in presenting on. Okay, and then this list, I should mention, I added a bunch of names to it um, this week, but it's not all inclusive. And you are free, if there's an artist that I do not have on that list, and you really want to use this artist, my only thing with going off the list is they need to be an established artist. They need to have been around for at least 5 years and have a pretty remarkable body of work behind them. If it's just someone that you know off of Instagram and they've got kind of like a cool Instagram page, that won't work for this project. I've had a couple students in the past who've gone kind of off script and they really struggled with finding the information on the artist, their bio, their education, all the stuff that you need in the presentation, and they struggled with finding them because they were a relatively unknown artist and not much was written about them. Okay, so I don't care if you guys go off the list, but do find someone that you have, um, has a set more than one body of work, and you can discuss with, great certainty on. Okay, so you're gonna pick a photographer. You are going to write a three-page paper on them. Everything that you need to write in the paper, I have included in this bio below. So basically, if you check everything off and you are not plagiarizing and you are, writing, answering all the questions that I need to see in the paper, you'll get all your points on that. Same thing with the presentation. Now, with the presentation, you will be part of your presentation will be to analyze a couple photos, and we're going to talk about analyzing photos next week. So, how you read a photo, how you break apart the technical aspects as well as the compositional aspects of the photo. So you're going to break down and analyze several photos within your presentation. You're going to turn in your paper and your presentation at the same time. So that's part 1 and 2 of this assignment. The third part of the assignment is to create a series of 8 total photographs. 8 total photographs. 4 of these photographs are going to be inspired by the work of your artist. So if your artist works with still lifes, maybe you want to do still lifes, but maybe it's not um, the same subject matter, but it's the same technique. Or if your, photographer was a black and white photographer, street photographer, maybe you like their aesthetic and their eye, but you want to shoot in color and you want to make your own thing. Maybe they had a series where they photographed people holding signs and you want to do something not quite on the nose, but something that reminds you of that. So it could either be their aesthetic, the way that their photographs look that you are inspired by, or it could be their approach, how they went about taking these photographs, or it could just be the ideas behind it. So one of those aspects you're going to be inspired by, you're going to create a series of 4 photos that we will see the influences of these artists within those 4 photos. And then additionally, you were going to, so it's 8 photos total, but additionally in the inspired by photos, you're going to take a series of 4 photos that are exact recreations of the photographs. So you're going to pick 4 of your favorite photographs, or the ones that are the most doable from your artist, and you are going to recreate them at home. And we'll talk about reverse engineering them and how you recreate them. So you're going to analyze the photos. You're going to say, what kind of lens do you think that they used? What kind of shutter speed did they use? What kind of aperture did they use? So you're going to look at these photos, what kind of angle, where were they standing when they took the photos, all of that stuff. What kind of lighting did they use? Did they use natural light? Did they use artificial light? All of that. So once you have a synopsis or a reverse engineered of the 4 images, you're going to go out and you're going to recreate them as best as you can. Some of the photographers who are in particular like street photographers, they're going to be hard to, I mean, obviously you're not going to be able to recreate locations and stuff, but you're going to recreate the mood. And even though some photographer took photos in New York City and you take photos in Flint, um, it's just about capturing the same kind of atmosphere and, recreating it as best as you can. I have had in the past students who've gone so far into this where they have recreated portraiture, and they've had their friends wear costumes that are similar to the photos that they're recreating. I've had them, there's one image that the recreation looked more like the artist than the artist photo itself, if that makes sense. So some students get really into it, and it's really remarkable. Um, but even though you don't have the same setup, or the costumes aren't required, that was really just a couple students who were just going above and beyond. But um, it's up to you how you want to take that. But the recreations, if we're looking, it's a still life and it's on a table, it should be the same angle. You should basically be using that photo, bring it up on your cell phone and use it as reference. And if you're not in the same angle, or, you know, the photo was a portrait and you shot a landscape orientation and it's just way off, then you're going to lose points on that, okay? So we'll talk more about how you can best match a photo when you're recreating it. And yeah, so that's it. So what I want you to do after, we do this critique on Thursday, I want you to go through the list, find a photographer, and be ready this weekend to, start looking at their work and start thinking about which 4 images of theirs could you recreate and all that, okay?